Hi, everybody. It's Celebrity Encounters Podcast. I'm Harlan.
I'm Alan.
And guess what? We have got, if you look right here, there's an Oscar, there's an Emmy sitting there. Who is it?
Oh, it's a very famous person.
Tell me.
Okay, so all our Trekkie fans, our Star Trek fans, this is Michael Westmore.
Michael Westmore!
The makeup man of Star Trek.
Unbelievable. That's amazing.
Oh,
amazing.
It is. He has done all the Star Trek Next Generation.
Right.
And what other Star Treks have you done there, Michael?
Went into Deep Space and then Voyager and then Enterprise and 4 of the movies, of which my favorite one was First Contact.
Ooh,
and
I like
anything else that came up. We opened up in Vegas with a whole exhibit and everything that we had to put together. So anything that happened at the studio between 1987 and 2019, 1987 and 2005, I was involved with putting together or painting or something.
Wow.
Wow, that's a lot of TV and a lot of movie.
Absolutely. And Michael, the Star Trek thing was at the Westgate, right? It was the Hilton at the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And over the thing, when you're doing a television series, it's like, you do so many and you don't realize it. But over the 18 years I was there, I think it was like 625 episodes that I
Wow.
had to design a new alien for every week. And I had free reign of it, which has made it one of the best jobs that any makeup artist has ever had.
Wait a second. As a TV producer, I've never heard of anybody getting carte blanche. You got carte blanche to do what you wanted?
I was never told what to do. The script would come, it would say alien, and it was up to me. Roddenberry and Rick Berman gave me carte blanche to just create, and it was fantastic. And that meant every 7 days I had to have a new alien, whether it was a single one or a dozen of them.
Well, clearly, this is why you got the Oscar and Emmy, and I do not. Wow, Ted, honest to goodness. TV producers are micromanagers and directors are micromanagers. That's what makes the art so fantastic.
Sure, absolutely.
And so to give somebody like that kind of authority to we know he's going to turn out something amazing.
Well, when you got the best,
yeah,
you don't want to mess with the best.
No,
right?
no, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's mind blowing. I've never met somebody in the industry that got what you got. That's truly a testament to how good you and your team, were and are.
Well, I showed up at my big meeting with Gene Roddenberry and the office people with my Oscar. So it was like a little thing.
A little intimidation.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, Gene, here's my resume, thunk. Wow.
Well, Michael is going to talk to us today about his first meeting with
Yes.
Captain Picard,
Oh.
Patrick Stewart.
Oh my gosh, really? Okay, I'm excited. I'm very excited. Don't get me wrong, I'm old school. I like my Captain Kirk, but Picard was unbelievably
he was.
the perfect guy for the role.
Yeah. Bill is wonderful too. A wonderful man to know and deal with. But with Patrick, it's like he had come from England. He had done, the only thing I knew him from was Dune. And our first meeting was very simple. It was, hello, in the beginning, it's hello, Mr. Westmore and hello, Mr. Stewart. And we started the show. And it was a very simple meeting at the start of it. But as we went on, the Hollywood Beauty Awards is a thing that I received an award there. And they said, who do you want to introduce you? I said, oh gosh, I don't know. And they said, what about Patrick Stewart? And I said, Patrick's too busy. He's never going to be able to do it. next thing I know, they're saying Patrick's going to come and introduce you the awards.
Wow.
And he started talking, and it's like I'm looking around, going, "Who the hell is he talking about?" That's me. But Patrick, as he was talking, he told this little story, which I had never heard. And that was that when he first came onto the lot at Paramount, they gave him a crew list with everybody's name on it. And he went down the list, knew absolutely no one until he hit Westmore. And that name rang a bell with him. And he told his story at this uh, gala that we were at, and it's like, and I'm going, what? He said, it's the only name I knew on the whole list. So, but we were friends. We stayed friends forever. And in reverse, the local 706, the union, had their big annual party, and they were giving Patrick an award for his generosity and just his personality with people of the crew and working with a makeup artist and a hairstylist. And they asked me if I would give him the award. So turnaround was fair play. I
Wow.
got to give Patrick an award in front of a couple thousand people.
So did you tell the story? You went through the list of the cast, and you're like, "Don't
No,
know,
I
don't
didn't.
know,
I don't
don't
know. I
know."
might have. I might have. I don't remember. But, it's like, and then I spent 14 years writing basically my biography, which was published in 2017. And I thought, I'm going to give another shot at Patrick Stewart. So I asked him to write the preface for me because the book covers all of the Westmore family going back to the 1800s up to 1917 when we went to press with it.
Well, coincidentally, Alan has his copy of your book right here, right now, Makeup
Ah,
Man.
yes, yes. And I asked Patrick if he would write the preface. And without blinking his eye, he said, sure.
Yeah,
And and it's like a lot of times when you do that, you expect him maybe to write about, a little bit or something. And he wrote a whole page on such a nice man that he is. His personality is the same. And it's like one thing he couldn't stand. He expects everybody to come prepared and do their job. And if an actor didn't know his lines came out, there was hell to pay. And it happened only a few times because he had a reputation for you better come in knowing what you're going to say. Don't fumble through it. So
here's the foreword that Patrick Stewart wrote. Is got his name there at the end. It's a very nice piece that he wrote about Michael. So, yes, and this is available on Amazon and anywhere else you can buy. So
it may be at Amazon now. It's I'm going to say they're almost out of books. So Amazon's probably the safest place to try.
okay.
So let me ask you, let's spin back to like that first meeting where I guess everybody was acting very professional. Could you get a sense of what his character was going to be versus he as a person? Can you remember?
Person is a person. He's a really happy-go-lucky. He and Jonathan Frakes and LeVar Burton are, joking around all the time and having a good time. It was a family. To this day, it's still a family. The other Star Trek series are, yes, they knew each other. If they go to a convention, they know each other. But with Next Generation, they know what everybody's doing, like a brother and a sister.
Wow.
It's amazing. You can be walking down the aisle, and you say to Marina Sirtis, uh, what's Michael Dorn doing? And she knows what Michael Dorn is doing. They all
Wow.
know what each other's doing. They're all that close. And they at the conventions, how they all really hang together.
That's
It's
pretty amazing because, like, my family knows nothing about what I'm doing.
Now, I have a question for you. Now, it's been said that Patrick Stewart was a stickler about posture. and even sitting properly in the captain's
Oh,
chair.
look, he's sitting up. Michael knows.
And he is. It's like, and he walks like that and sits like that. He does. Perfect posture. Yes.
See, it's true. This
Well, if
little
it works for him, I got to change my schlump is what I got to do. I get it. And so prior, as you said, when he first came on to Star Trek, I know he was very big in Broadway and British Broadway, whatever their version.
Shakespeare. He was a Shakespeare actor.
Shakespeare.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. And so was his motivation for what Picard would be based on that, or do you know where he created that persona?
Well, the thing is, he was the captain, and you can believe that the way he held himself. He was a jokester. Come Friday nights, when everybody finished shooting, the men. It seems like, except for Jonathan Frakes, uh, who played Riker, would work late. For some reason, that meant I worked late. So the rest of them went to a Korean bath down the street, down Western Avenue, in Hollywood. And that was still part of all of them being a family. They would go down there and soak for, half hour or so, or hour, and then go home. It
Wow.
was, yeah, it was an amazing closeness that to this day still remains.
Spinning you back, because I know where you're talking about, not the specific spa per se, but when you said down on Western, were you guys filming on the Paramount lot? Is that where you were?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. How many?
Except for maybe out of the whole season, we would go on location for 2 weeks or something. Actually, even go and stay overnight somewhere. And again, it was fun because I meant when we wrapped up, we all kind of went to dinner together.
Nice. Very nice.
And so the Enterprise set was a permanent set on the Paramount lot.
Yes.
How many
And
sound
one
stages
night,
were? Say again?
oh, how many sound stages? Let's see, it was 5 or 6.
Wow.
We had the big double stage that where Bonanza shot, and it was just all close together. In fact, when we started a second show, Deep Space, they shot on the same street, only across the street, and that was like where Star Trek heaven was, and it was like I myself, because I would be doing characters on both shows. My main job was to do Data and Gates McFadden, and then anybody else if we got caught for time, I could pick up LeVar or Patrick or anybody else. But I had 2 other people with me that was also very good and helping. Uh, and I also, when Deep Space came in, I had to spot Terry Farrell. She was known as Dax, and she had little spots that went around her forehead and down the sides of her neck. And every time I did that, I would pull her collar out and with a Roman numeral number her. And I forgot, it was 500 and sometimes I did her. And Chakotay over on Voyager, where he had a tattoo on the side of his head. I did that by hand too. I didn't
Wow.
use stencils. It was easier to do it by hand.
Wow.
With him, he was there 1 year longer than Terry was. So I did him, I think it was 550 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It
That's a
was,
lot. Wow. That's a lot.
but you become good friends and you know each other's lives. Uh,
Well, they're stuck
what
in the chair for a good hour or two, right?
actually no, not they weren't. Other people were. Brent, when he did Dr. Sung had an old age makeup with appliances. That was 4 hours in the chair, yes. But the makeups were just like myself. By hand painting it, I didn't have to worry about stencils and things going wrong, get smearing or something. And Chakotay's tattoo, I could do in about 20 minutes.
Wow.
And Terry also was came down here on one of the shows. She was in I think a spa or something with Nana visitor, and I did it with Sharpies. I went down her entire body, here, 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 all the way down her thigh to the top of her feet,
Wow.
and yeah, with a big Sharpie going making all those spots, but they weren't an actual spot. It was like a moon, and the moons would intersect each other, and they
How,
never matched.
how
With
about
all the times, whether it's her face or her body, those little moons never
That's
matched.
what I was going to ask. I'm surprised, like in this day of age of internet, that somebody wasn't like, has anyone else noticed?
Yeah, I've to this day, I've never had anybody come up and say, it didn't look right. Although several times, I'm talking about maybe 5 times, when I was doing the movies, Star Trek movies, and the series at the same time, and I couldn't quite get there in time to do Terry's little things. I taught 2 other people to do it, and even that, I had a very fine pointed brush, and I would literally have to shake my hand, just not paint it, but shake my hand and to go do the little circle like that, the little half circles. And I could tell if it wasn't me that was doing it, even though I would stand there and really work with them. It was I don't know why, it was a difficult thing to do, but stencil would never work.
I have a question. When you had to turn Picard into the Borg, how long did it take to put his makeup on when you had to do that?
That Patrick played Locutus, and he would be in the chair in the very beginning on First Contact. It would take like 5 hours to put a
Wow.
board together because the suits and everything to get them in and give them then touch up and everything and running back and forth, uh, and gluing all the little pieces on that that looked mechanical, and those weren't. They were actually rubber that were painted black and then take um, copper and silver and gold, kind of almost like shoe polish, but it wasn't. It was makeup, and then go over those just with dry brush them to give them a metallic look. And those we could all do ahead of time.
That's
So
incredible. Like, I honest to God, like, I know that most actors get paid pretty well, and to have to sit there, I can barely sit in great clips getting a haircut for 15 minutes. So to be in a chair for 4 hours where they're like, don't move, oh my God, it would kill me.
Patrick, I think we may have gotten him down to 3.
Oh, geez.
But he had also, when he played Locutus, there was a laser mounted on the side of his head.
Right.
This, this was the second time a laser was used in the studios in a motion picture. And you think about it optically, what's it going to cost to do optically to do something like that? My son Michael built all the electronic pieces that we had in Star Trek over the 18 years. He built the electronics into all the Borg eyes, and anywhere we opened data up, it was his job to do it. And he found this little laser that cost like $150.
Oh, wow.
Mounted it on the side. This thing would have cost thousands had it been. And it was like there was a scene where Patrick looks right into the camera, and we had no idea, it was never tested, how it would work. And for some reason, the effect they got was like breaking glass. And you can, if you're seeing First Contact, or Best of Both Worlds is where it was done on. It was a double episode of Borg. And it's like the studio went crazy with it because it created a brightness and a light and an effect that nobody expected. And for $150 as opposed to how many thousand it would take to do it optically.
I had a similar experience with a laser. Is I went to the 99-cent store and took my little kids to the San Diego Zoo, used the laser to have the warthogs chase the laser around.
Oh, how neat.
So mine was a little less expensive, but just as effective.
I'm going to have to watch that episode to see that effect again.
Oh, I totally remember the effect that you're talking about, because he would turn his head and the laser would hit into the lens and it would like create this. Yeah, it was really cool. I absolutely remember.
And you needed smoke. If you didn't have smoke, it was very light. But as long as you had that smoke there, that laser would just beam right through it.
That's awesome. So off subject, but similar, being the special effects makeup family that you all are, was Halloween a big deal to you all? Or were you like, oh no, we're not doing nothing on Halloween?
Time to run and hide. Except for Mackenzie, our youngest daughter. We took her to see Cats as a first Broadway play that she saw. And she played one of the cats for about 4 or 5 years, where I would do the makeup on her for that. She liked getting makeup. Michelle, my oldest daughter, she liked getting makeup. Michael, no. He's my son, who actually worked on Star Trek too, also. He liked costumes. And Marion, who could sew unbelievably, she would make him a costume like George Washington or something and get all the buttons and stuff. She enjoyed it. Actually, my Marion worked for Edith Head. She was one of her top models at Universal Studios. That's where we met. And we've been married now, I think it's 61 years.
Wow. That's
It works.
awesome.
It works.
It was a very interesting story how he met his wife.
Okay. Is this a Hollywood story?
Okay. Yes. We worked, and Edith had a fashion show with their costumes in one of the buildings there on the tour at Universal. And I was doing makeup demonstrations, and then I taught more people to do it. So we would go out and we would pick a lady out of the audience and would make them up on our part. But Marion wore costumes on the stage that Edith had used in pictures. And Marion, she closed the fashion show with a wedding dress that Rosemary Forsythe wore in a Jimmy Stewart film called Shenandoah. And one day, now we worked together for about 2 months or so and didn't like each other. I didn't, if I came up, she would leave. And so it was like, I thought that was a lost cause. So I was sitting backstage literally reading the Wall Street Journal, and they were closing the fashion show, and the curtain kind of rustled a little bit. And I looked up, and it was the first time our eyes actually met. And I put the paper down and saw her, and I didn't know what the hell to say, say this one. So the first words out of my mouth were, "Would you like to get married?"
Oh,
And she said to me, "Wait till I change, and I'll come back and we'll talk about it."
oh, wow.
She went, changed her costume because she had time off between the next show, and I did too. And we literally paired up at that point in life. And that was in December 4th of 1965.
Wow.
I've taken her on location with me. We have packed up the family and taken them. We haven't been apart very much our entire marriage. So,
All right,
and
so I'm going to steal your big move because I'm a single guy now, and I'm going to just every woman I meet on the first date. So when are we getting married? See how that works for me.
Or you want to
okay, I'll
marry
give you
me?
another hint. On our first date, I didn't try to kiss her except on the forehead, and that impressed her.
Okay, all right, so
That I
ask
did.
him to marry you and kiss him on the forehead.
That's how you got to do it.
You got more dating advice here?
Well, work for him.
I know, and and he's got an
Yeah.
Oscar and an Emmy out of him, for goodness sakes. If that's what I got to
Yeah.
do, I'm all in on that one. I have one more question, and then we have to wrap up this segment. So you've created hundreds of these different aliens. Is there an alien that you never got to make for a show that you were like, I always wanted to do that?
There was one that I saw in a painting in a store next to a Thai restaurant in Studio City, California. But I used it to create the Cardassians. But as far as seeing something that, because I wouldn't bother to put anything into my mind until I had the script to see where this alien was coming from and what they were doing and what their character was, and then I would design it. I can't say there was anything that I wished I could have done because I did, a new alien almost for every one of the 600 and some shows that we did.
Wow.
That's a lot of aliens.
That's a lot of aliens. Because I was going to say, since you don't come up with anything in advance, Alan has always wanted to be some kind of alien creature. So if your family is still doing anything Star Trek, we think you should make it look like Alan.
Thank you, Harlan.
You're welcome. You heard it here first, people. We got a scoop. The Westmores are making Alan aliens.
It's been great, Michael. And thanks for watching Celebrity Encounters Podcast. We'll see you next time. I'm Alan.
I'm Harlan.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in today. And if you enjoyed our show, please subscribe, rate, and review our podcast on all your favorite platforms. We'll see you next week with the next episode of Celebrity Encounter Podcast.